Hello and welcome to Anfield Road TV. Yes, another transfer news episode to come out today. Let me know your thoughts on all today's news stories. All the links to all the articles are in the description. So if you want to read a bit more into these stories, you can do after the show has gone out live. If you are watching on the repeat, do drop a like, do drop a comment on the videos as well. Kev, how are we, lads? Hope you're well.
Good, dude. Yourself?
Not too bad. All good. So apologies a bit late there. Just obviously having some little bit of technical issues, but we're all well and good now.
I was having a technical issue. I had an absolutely angry Roomba floating around outside the door, grinding on everything, and two children falling down the stairs. So not too bad. Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully they're okay, lads. In terms of the show tonight, everyone, as I said, big support on all the episodes. You absolute legends. But if you are new and you've just discovered the channel and you're watching tonight's episode and you haven't already subscribed, a staggering 55.9% of viewers that do watch Anfield Road TV haven't subscribed in the last 28 days. So that's obviously people that are consuming the content.
Subscribe.
And, so smash that subscribe button on the road to 10k. You're absolute legends. We'll get there one day. But,
subliminal messaging. Subscribe.
Yes, there we go.
Subscribe.
There we go. If that's not going to get them to subscribe, that'll be getting.
Of course we will. Subscribe.
Yeah, chat. How are we? We've got 3 stories that we will discuss today, chat. But most importantly, if you have seen any stories or whatnot that you want to talk about, or just general Liverpool things, really, in regards to players, transfers, players coming in, do let me and Kev know, and we'll get to all your comments as well. But big up to everyone, as I said. 50, can we aim for 50 likes on today's episode? It'd be very much appreciated if we can get that.
I'm back. There
we go.
Big up camera's messing up for some reason.
Big up there, Gary, as well. Tell you all, Jack and Kevin. Take the players a year ago. Take this player a year ago. In regards to Gary, was it the goalkeeper or whatnot?
Kone, I think.
Oh, Kone, yeah. Obviously, we'll speak about that. Yeah, Anfield, obviously, off the back of, was it yesterday or the day before, as well, in regards to that story. It looks like it was very much looking like he's going to PSG. Anfield, obviously, news stories do develop a lot more quicker. It's, as we've said, Anfield and Kev, as is the case with modern-day transfer rumours, and especially articles or news outlets as well, just putting the likes of Real Madrid, Liverpool, Manchester United in your article, and it becomes a lot more getting popular, to say the least, to get the
clickbaity.
Yeah. Never made that, Kev, was it? You've never clickbaited, have you?
Never.
Sounds. I don't know what Kev's looking at. What are you looking at there, lads?
Getting stuff ready for our stream.
You're looking outside, lads.
And the technical case, he's just sitting there thinking away, chatting to the lads and the whole lot. But then when I see stats and I see players coming up and guys that were dropping off, I go looking for stuff like that. Because, you know, I'm a stat-minded individual, lads.
Watching Ricky from 89 Reds TV, get the tabs open when he's playing the quiz. But it is what it is. But firstly, Manu Kone, we went straight to that one, as I said, chat. And that goes on to what I've just said there in relation to it probably is a case. We've been here, done that in regards to Manu Kone. Obviously, he did get a big injury last year as well, so didn't feature quite as heavily as he has done in previous seasons. But it states this, obviously, in the articles today. Liverpool amongst the clubs that have been offered Borussia Mönchengladbach's midfielder Manu Kone, according to HITC. Graham Bailey has claimed that the 23-year-old has been put in the shop window for Tottenham, Manchester United, Fulham, and Liverpool. He claims that all 4 clubs have watched the Frenchman in the last 12 months. Manu Kone told us quite early on that he wanted to leave the club, but there is no update. Gladbach's director, Ronald Veku, said last week as well. Kev, thoughts on little midfielder? Obviously, we spoke about him last year as well when he was heavily linked. But it's off the back of, obviously, the injury he had last year, and it's just a bit weird in relation to when you look at, obviously, Captain Forum going to, I think it was a club in Italy anyway. I think he was going to AC Milan or wherever he's ended up in this transfer window, Kev. Is he just going to be another one of those midfielders that just secures a deadbeat move to another low-level team in Europe, really? Oh, Kevin on mute there.
Sorry. I was fixing my camera. I think it was on desperate attempts by agents. To be honest with you, I think it's all of this. It's the usual transfer window nonsense where fellas are trying to get big moves for middle ground players that are probably, on the verge of injury or constant injury or secret injuries, and they just try and get them. I think it's the same as like Nabil Fekir, to be honest with you. Not the reason behind why he wasn't transferred, just I just think it's all agents, to be honest with you. I don't see why Liverpool are chasing a guy that would be as injury prone as what he was this season again. Just gone, and
especially after losing Naby and Thiago Alcantara as well. So
just we have to learn our lesson from these kind of things, regardless of getting them cheaper anymore. It doesn't matter. We shouldn't be chasing players like this anymore. We learned a lot, even with Artem Melo. I know he's done well recently, but look at the horror show that he had since that car crash. He's another player who's a good player and deserves better, but Kone, no chance.
It's just going to be one of them chats, isn't it? Until Liverpool and Kev, we actually do sign a player. We're all biting at the bit, really. We'll look at any rumours or obviously articles and whatnot. Hopefully, we will wake up one morning or in the evening time when it's either a Paul Joyce article or very much a David Ornstein tweet where it literally just states on the top line, Liverpool have acquired and placed a bid for whoever that player is. That's wishful thinking, maybe, possibly. Obviously, we've got still a long way to go in the current transfer window, Kev. But it's silly season is very much rife as well. But of course, we're a news Liverpool channel. We read out the articles as well. We investigate them. We have a little look at terms of obviously the stories, the outlets, and obviously where a bit of those sources are coming from. And so it's going to be. It's a no from you, Kev. It's very much as echo what Kev said there. Injury-prone players, Liverpool, and especially under the Arne Slot era, I think I'd like to see a bit more consistency in terms of team selection as well, in relation to players getting picked for Liverpool, so they go straight in, no messing about. My thoughts on Ibu. He's a phenomenal player, but it's when and how often you can very much get him on the football pitch at the minute, because he plays about 10 games and then he's missing for another 5 or 10. It might be some injuries here and there, and injuries are a part of the game, really. But does that coincide very much, Kev, with a variety of players getting injured, certain players, or adding to that, really, Liverpool's lack of strength in certain other areas of the pitch?
Yeah. I like the thing with Konate is, do I think he'll be lifelong injury prone? No, I don't. I think it's just one of these, you get these things for like 2 years, maybe 2.5 years, where you get these niggling recurring injury from the same place until it fully heals. But then you try to get the best out of him that you can when he's available. If there's some sort of window where we can keep resting Konate until all that soft tissue develops back and toughens up a bit, then maybe we can get away. And then you probably see the best out of Konate down the line. But then you're taking another Joe Gomez risk where you're thinking of pretty much only barely playing the guy, and he mightn't even see games for a full season until that tissue comes back. But then you can see what the benefits of Joe Gomez got with the amount of game time that he got last season from taking all that rest, and he's injury free. Because a lot of people are still mistaken that Joe Gomez is injury prone, and I don't know where they get it from. It's just, I said it before, it's 2 big injuries that did him, and he was out for a long periods of time, but he didn't come back and then just get all these niggling little injuries. He never had. He just didn't get back to his full playable style, I suppose, or he didn't get back to his full strength within the side, or match fitness, really.
And that's been Liverpool's issue, hasn't it, Kev? It's a great point you raised there, mate, in Chelsea. As Kev's alluded to, like, we rush players, especially in the Klopp era. How many times have we rushed players back? I'd even say Jota as well, because me and you spoke heavily this week, Kev, and when we spoke to you, chat as well. The biggest frustration with Jota is just his injuries as well. Yes, injuries are part and parcel of football, but it's that we need to be allowing our players that like breathing room, really, in terms of just the recovery time, and even if it takes 6 months, where they don't actively play as often as we'd like. and they come out and just Arne Slot just said, yeah, we're just giving him a bit more time in terms of his recuperation. We're not gonna rush him back, but that's been one of the disappointing factors really when you look at Jurgen Klopp's tenure, was not that inability really to get players recovered to their full maximum fitness. And obviously sometimes I think we got extremely lucky in relation to Liverpool's forward three for 4 or 5 years. Salah's not had a massive injury in his Liverpool career, touch wood. Mane,
just that one in January, or that one in December, January.
Mane probably had about what? I wasn't even missing for much.
Nah,
the back end.
Yeah,
it was only slight. He'd only missed didn't miss any more than I'd say 5.
6 weeks was the longest he was out, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah,
and then Bobby speaks for himself. Play through anything really. Play through the pain barrier, and the back 5 as well was the back 5 for about 3-4 years anyway, and. Obviously, Robbo, the back end of his career, as players get older, they succumb to a bit. Saying that, Robbo's injuries have been in his arm. It's not necessarily been his bloody legs or his ankles or whatnot. It's just been really strange, but that's Robbo's no nonsense. He'll literally soldier barge anyone, me, you, anyone. He's that ultra competitive fella as well. We'll get to all your comments as well before we move on to the next one's chat as well. Get your comments in relation to Ben Doak as well, chat. That's going to be the next person we do speak about. Where would you personally like to see him move? Would it be a Premier League side in the bottom of the league? Obviously, get that bit more experience, or would it be obviously a side in the Championship? If so, what side would you like to see him go to anyway? Big up there. Big up there, lads. Yeah, far from it, lads. Far from. Big up there, Gary, as well. Sorry there, mate, read that one. But big up there, chat, everyone. As I said, 50 like target. If we can get that tonight, it'd be very much appreciated if we are live. Really gets it out there for all the content as well. Kone is being offered, including everyone. What's nice. Yeah. What a club. The size of Justin Bieber's just made Kev's camera crash there. So.
No, there's a problem with my camera link here. The little one swung off it about 3 weeks ago, and it's been slowly dying. So it's what turns my camera into a web camera, because this is an actual proper camera. But it's it's broken, so I have to get a new setting to put into the PC. I'll be picking that up in the next week or so. But at the moment, I just have to it's nearly sticky taping it together until it's done and dusted.
Bit like Liverpool's medical department at this
point. Yeah.
Well, last season. Remember going in for yes, Anfield. We love those two players, especially for doing videos, mate. It's boys.
Live for the content.
Aye. A year ago, Liverpool could have had Kone. Yeah, that's the thing, Gary. That's it, Kev.
I don't even think that was possible, guy. I don't think Liverpool were interested at all. I think there was just their agents storing up stuff, to be honest with you.
Especially on social media, posting videos together and everything. They were all for it. Young lads, anyway, and they're just trying to get some more followers on Instagram by the looks of it.
So young lad came out yesterday. So 2 days ago. No, it was 2 days ago. And I was talking to you. I thought somebody was making a mess in the comments, but it was in chat when we were doing the watch along, and it wasn't Solar or something.
Yeah, well, going on to that anyway, but we'll get to all the comments as well. We'll quickly touch on that because that rumour has been very much, I think, dismissed before we go ahead as well by a couple of journals. I don't want to be signing Addington in left backs. I just have flashbacks to Sebastian Leto. I was there for his debut at Anfield.
Could have had Heinz as well.
Yeah, well, Fergie wouldn't give him a would he?
Nah.
Even on a free, you're not having him anyway.
Fergie didn't he put something into the contract when they would, because Real Madrid were going to immediately sell him because they were going to play double the price Liverpool, and they were going to immediately sell him to Liverpool. And Fergie put a clause into saying, "No, he can't be sold on to Liverpool straight away." Like it took 2 days and it was done.
So, legendary manager, but sometimes like that, you just that's right. That's proper rivalry, Man City.
Whiskey nose donut.
None of this. I'm selling my Brazilian striker to Arsenal. And we'll speak on that. Chat Alvarez to Atletico Madrid.
70 mil.
That's good. That's value for money. Like, we can all agree that is proper, legit value. Not 20 million for your young goalkeeper who's not really played the game of football in his life. But
I think I think that league will suit him better. I think it's more open spaces. I think it's all about getting the ball to the striker on runs. Whereas the Premier League is a much more controlled environment when it comes to playing football. Every team has got like a set standard that they stay to within, defending and attacking, and where they switch to immediately. Whereas, the Spanish teams are a bit more flowing. They can take risks because they know that the big few teams are always going to kind of counter attack them no matter what. So, yeah.
I think they just won another Argentinian. A bit like the one that he had like, 10 years ago? What was it?
Which one?
Aguero.
Oh, yeah.
Which one, Kev? It's
because there was two guys. Jimenez was in there as well, wasn't he? And what's it called? Some of them guys.
But he's just not on that level.
Mendy was there as well, wasn't he? Yeah. I keep forgetting. Yeah, I forgot about Aguero. When I think of him, I just always remember, when I think of Atletico Madrid, I just remember Fernando Torres and how good he was at Atletico Madrid before he came to us.
That's because like literally they got rid of Torres and they had this like coming through. It's like bloody. I remember like.
So Torres screwed us twice. I come into Liverpool and then leave in Liverpool.
We did get 50 million for Torres. Like, the younger version of me was still devastated at the time, but like at the time, that taught me a big lesson being a Liverpool fan. Just don't get attached to players nowadays.
Like him, Torres just reminds me kind of Salah now, that one of these guys you just don't want to leave. You want him to finish his career at Liverpool, regardless of whether they have a drop off or not. Torres had a massive drop off for 18 months before he left. So we got a lot of good money for after that calf injury and ankle injury he had. It's just he looked like a done player by the time like he scored those 2 goals against Chelsea. So even then he looked slow and he looked out of pace. And then Chelsea bought him for 50 mil. And I was like, do you know what? If we'd have kept Torres and brought Suarez in that time, Torres mightn't have had to do much running. He might have just been there to score goals, and he probably would have had a much better finish to his career than he did. No, that's my camera gone again.
Yeah, I still find it mad that it's mad, chat. Is there a player that stands out in your mind? Get a player in that you look at a player that has just had such a good record, but in terms of obviously Torres going to Chelsea, he seemed like he'd score 5 goals every game against him. No wonder Abramovich was like, "Sound, we'll get him, stop him scoring against us," because what a fella. We all remember his first goal against Chelsea, just drop of the shoulder, and Torres was made at Liverpool. Obviously, winning the Euros was a big thing at being at Liverpool. What a player in his prime. Like, we always say, Kev, Chas, let us know, quick one here. Obviously, could you imagine a forward line all in the prime? Suarez, Torres, and Salah. Play Suarez off the left. Because at Ajax, Suarez did play, I think it was off the left flank or right flank, was one of them. And then obviously he played through the middle as well. But
if anything, you'd nearly have Torres coming in off the left.
Was it?
Yeah, because I think Suarez is just too dangerous to the centre. But I think Torres, he liked to drift out to the left to make room for Steven Gerrard to run in. So if he's seen Gerrard running left, he would run mid. And then if he's seen Gerrard running mid, he would run left or even right, depending on where Doak was playing. So, it was watching them 2 boys play together was a sight to behold. And then like Xabi Alonso behind them just tearing up with passes was ridiculous, like absolutely ridiculous. So I know, lads, I keep freezing, but I'm here to talk.
Yeah, we can still hear that, so good.
Yeah.
But just, and speaking on Torres and Gerrard, what a partnership. Do you think we'll ever see a partnership that good?
I think we have seen it in
future, but like the link up play between Gerrard and Torres was an absolute joke.
They were just telekinetic. Yeah, there was nothing like him. So I mean, we hadn't seen it since Tashak and Keegan, really. Yeah. So yeah,
So Chas, could it be? Do you anticipate any of those players a bit like to form a little bit of a partnership or link up play? Really, I say, Kev, you need a little icon there on your profile. Look.
I know, I do. I thought I already had one.
Big up there, Chas. Big up there, Jen. Massive thank you for the super chat, mate. Yeah, we're not too bad, Jen. But most importantly, the channel wouldn't be without obviously everyone getting involved and just viewing the content and getting involved anyway. A great community of Reds around the world. So massive thank you, Jen, and everyone for all your support, especially over the last couple of weeks as well. It's been really good. Can't say any more different. Manu, yeah, Sean, true. Manu. Joe Badger. Matthias, Man City is very close to the sale. Yeah, we're saying that. Yeah, so who did he get, Kev? And chat. Thing is, if City lose Alvarez, you need to bring someone in, surely. something in the back of
I think they're putting a risk. I think they know what's coming and they're just taking a risk. They're just trying to get the money down as much as possible. That's the only thing I can see from their point of view. I think there's a savage risk coming on City's behalf. I think they're just going to upgrade, the likes of Bob and the likes of these guys to the main bench and just say, look, we're going to go with youth. I don't think that City are still capable of winning the league, but I don't think they're planning ahead to win the league this season. I think they're just planning ahead to survive whatever they can, and I think they're trying to make the money off players now, rather than if they get relegated and all of a sudden they lose all these players for pennies. Like Erling Haaland has the ability, if like in these contracts, if City go down or whatever, there's a chance City could lose Erling Haaland for about 20 mil, 20-25 mil.
City would literally lose all the players apart from the young academy lads.
Everybody would be gone.
The wage cap in the
it's why De Bruyne is talking about leaving. He could be gone in January. It's why Alvarez is going. It's why, I mean, Alvarez hasn't been a failure by any way, shape or form for City. He's done well from when he came on. So yeah, I don't know, man. I just think they're trying to steady the ship. If I was being honest.
100%.
Yeah.
Pick up there, Jenny. Hey, Jack, I'm tempted to lend Slot and Coa Pen just to see if they have to use it to sign someone. We'll be getting someone, mate. I'm loving the Arnie Slot. Chat, tonight, for the next show tomorrow, make sure you come with your icon being Arnie Slot. We want to be seeing these majestic pictures of the gaffer in the comments. I think Jen's got a picture of Arnie there. It's not too bad. Obviously, surprised Gary hasn't got one in the comments as well. Looks like a lot of our players will go on loan. Doak, Clark, as we spoke about last night on the show, if you didn't watch it, there has been already a £6 million bid rejected from RB Salzburg. Obviously going to looking like a potential move to there with Pep Linders, but Liverpool won't be budging on the evaluation of in and around 13 to 15 million pounds. That's the evaluation Liverpool do hold on Bobby Clark at this moment in time. McConnell, I think that will be Anfield. It will very much be a loan for him. Very highly regarded amongst the Liverpool Academy directors and everything. And obviously the little shades the shades of brilliance that we did see last year. Big player. He will have a big future at Liverpool as long as he continues to develop as well as he has done over the last 12 months, especially getting the opportunities he does have. Yeah, Gary, I'm so excited. Where are we now? Yeah. 2 weeks. Yeah, well, less than 2 weeks before the footy starts, which is very good to see as well. Forgot to mention there's a good source around the Soler link. So that looks interesting. Not sure why we need another left back, but at least I think that means that we're looking to sell Beck as well.
No, I don't think so. I think Beck is still developing. He's still a couple of years away from getting first team proper football developed up. He's still very young.
No, I think there has been some links
to leave.
Yeah.
Nah, I wouldn't sell him. I would keep. I don't know why we do that, but I do think we need an immediate left back to come in. I mean, Costas has been okay in the pre-season, but he's nowhere near defensively good. Regardless of being able to link up, play up the wing, we don't need a winger. We need a left back that can play as a winger.
Yeah.
So that's why we have Andy Robben. It's hard to get that. I think we need to get another lad in. Not unless they see is Chambers the left back as well, isn't he?
Well, Callum Chambers hasn't even been given a full chance.
So I think maybe they're seeing him as maybe more of an option for the future rather than Noam Beck. And then they're trying to move him on. But I still think that we need somebody else in this for Costas, to be honest with you.
Yeah, in terms of that story as well, Kevin Chass, nice one there, Messiah. Have a little look. I did have it on my notes anyway. But Julian Soler approach, according to TYC and other, obviously, sources out there in Argentina, left-back Soler was caught the attention of Liverpool. Has been claimed that Lunos have received a call and asked about the defender. The report suggests he is valued at in around 11.75 million. But, as I said, Chas, always check your sources, really. I don't think it's just going to be another case. Was it the other Brazilian lad that we were linked with last year? Was it Alan? Was it Alan or whatever his name was? The Fluminense and Andre.
Oh yeah, Andre. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just. I think it's just another one of them chat really where they're trying to garner a bit of interest, maybe for a.
He can't to Fulham.
He still hasn't moved. Like their sporting director.
Something's going on there.
Yeah, he's just an absolute menace by the sounds of it, really. Chats, don't think he's gone Fulham, but let us know. But it just smacks belief, really, if he's that good, Kev. Even if Liverpool have somehow, with Andre last year, even if we've had a disagreement and we didn't go with the right fee, you would have thought someone would have snapped him up who was half decent, you know.
Yeah, a lot of these, he's playing fairly well, but you know, bureaucracy and all of that, man, always tends to get in the way of some players' careers. It nearly happened to Mascherano and what's the name, Tevez, when they were owned, they were third party owned, and then I think football governing bodies made it illegal for people to third party own people anymore. So after that kind of debacle, you know, I mean, look how much we got Mascherano for on the cheap, you know, for those few seasons that he was there. Yeah, you know, so
up to you then at West Ham.
Yeah.
An absolute mess, wasn't it?
Yeah, poor West Ham even got done over, but they couldn't blame Liverpool, or they couldn't blame anybody else for that, because I mean that's down to them third party ownerships. So trying to sell them to the highest bidder, you know, by getting his foot in the door. So it's nuts.
It's mad how that still persists within football, Kevin. Just like, especially as more money comes into the Premier League, and especially Premier League teams. And even like the youngsters as well. Look at Manchester City, the amount of millions they have spent, not just on their first team, but in terms of their like recruitment process, in terms of their training grounds, and even their under-21s academy, or like their stadium that's literally, is it next door to them? Is that their academy or whatever it is? Anyway, big up there, Lee. Hope you're well, mate. As Callum said, players aren't realising City's. People aren't realising City's great. Yes.
They are. They're preparing, man. I'm telling you now. As much as they can talk for don't do this, there's so many desperate acts after coming out of City recently that selling Alvarez when they only have Haaland and there's another striker. Who else have they got as a striker? They sold Cole Palmer, who could have easily broke into that City team.
Yeah, they've mentioned the Brazilian lad that they've signed. Is it Salvio or?
Yeah, but all of these guys are pennies. These are guys that they can buy for pennies and even sell for double the profit later. But you can't buy an Alvarez for 40 million and then go relegate and then sell him for 70 million afterwards. You'd sell him again for like 20 million because they have to be sold within the tier of the football that they're in, and the contracts can make them go for money. Like if they were to get relegated or something like that, they'll always have clauses in contracts, players, where if they get relegated, they can be sold for like 20 million, so that doesn't scupper any easy move from, you know. So all of these kind of things. So, but you never think these clubs are going to get relegated until these situations come up, you know.
Yeah, 100%, mate, 100%. In terms of, we just quickly touch on that Soler link chat, but I don't think we'll see much of it. In regards, mentioned Kone as well. Speaking, we've already mentioned this anyway, but just for anyone tuning in, that's new. Milanowski found his new club after being released, and he did go to Amania. Oh, you know what I'm like when we pronunciation chat. The former Red talent to sign for
Musalowski.
Cypriot First Division side on Nomia. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that chat. So whatever. So he signed for them. So best of luck to him as well. We'll go on to quickly Ben Doak chat, and then we'll go on to the very bizarre link of a goalkeeper. I just don't understand it, but we'll get to that because it really does me head in. Kev, Ben Doak, quickly, he has been linked. There was a lot of speculation off the back of obviously the last game we had against Manchester United. I think McConnell wasn't there. Ben Doak wasn't there. We know why Szoboszlai wasn't there. And apologies, chat, if that's already been mentioned in the press conference. I might have missed that in regards to Ben Doak and McConnell not being there. It might just be down to fatigue or just obviously Arne Slot.
Rotation.
A little bit of rest and rotation, mate. But in terms of developments as well, Kev, if we do speak hypothetically, really, say if Liverpool get a couple of players in, even better, we can get a wide player or a wide forward that can play plenty of positions, and we keep the likes of Diaz, obviously Gakpo, Jota, Nunez. It's going to be a lot more difficult for the likes of Ben Doak really to get into this side. For a player with so much immense ability, we said this, I think it was like a couple of weeks ago anyway. If he was going to go, we need to make sure Ben Doak, if he does leave the football club, it is at a level really where we do see that much improved quality in terms of his progression. Really, we're not just sending him out for the sake of just being there. Like,
he's a product, Jack.
He needs to develop.
He needs to add value to his to the input the Liverpool have put into him. So what Liverpool need to do now is make sure that they get him to a certain peak at his age where he's above the standard of most kids his age, and he's added value to his training or to the input that Liverpool have put in. Liverpool might have spent about 200,000 on this kid to get him to the stage that he's at now. Liverpool want to make about 2 million back off him. They'll want to see a tenfold money coming back in. So what is it?
Yeah, Ben Doak did play against Man United.
I remember that. But still in all, I don't think he's breaking into the squad. Regardless of being the only fella at the moment that's naturally available to back up Salah, he's not getting chances into, even when Salah's coming off, somebody else is coming on for him in a different position. I think when most managers take Salah off, they're sacrificing it for a different formation. So we don't need a right winger to come back on for Salah. And I think that's the biggest mistake a lot of people are making when they think that we need a direct replacement for Salah to actually back him up and come in. We will, but it's not the reason why. This is why they keep on to your Doaks and all of these guys that can come on and back up in the cups and stuff. But look, Ben Doak could go to a team like, as I keep saying, that we have a good relationship with Blackburn and he can develop really well at that club. Just like Martin did, just like Elliot did. We've sent a few players to Blackburn in previous history. We've actually got a really, really good standing with Blackburn.
Ben Doak going to like a team like Luton, who is very progressive and very attack minded. I think there's a good understanding there. Really, I love the way. I hope in terms of their footballing, like when you think about like the club in terms of the footballing perspective, their manager, obviously Klopp spoke very highly of him last year as well. Speaks really well, very complimentary of Liverpool as well. So to go out like that and pick up there, Zane. Kev's just trying to get that story alive anyway. Let's have a little look. Zane, where's the source of that, mate? If you can, like the source of the journalist on their socials, mate, let us know in the comments or chat. Do let us know. If that's the case, then obviously Leicester coming into the Premier League, obviously a lot of money in the pockets, really. And
this is like the fourth time that Leicester's come around asking about Carvalho.
So is that just come out now, Kev? Is it?
I'm trying to find something here. All I'm seeing 14 hours ago now. There's nothing that I'm seeing at the moment. It's a Fabrizio Romano. Hang on. Yeah. You see, so Twitter.
Anyway.
What is the best thing?
Hey, you better not telling the porky, lad. Tell that.
I don't think he is, but he's right about, because I remember like all the links that we had to
But there's going to be a lot of big teams coming in for him. But quickly concluding on
what?
Ben Doak.
Conor Gallagher's going to Atletico Madrid.
Oh, God, Alvarez playing with Conor Gallagher.
What? 16 hours ago. Anyway, exclusive. 7 minutes ago, Leicester City enter race for Fabio Carvalho as talks start for former Fulham player. Southampton had bid rejected by Liverpool. The fact that Southampton and both Leicester are starting to bid more from teams that are coming up. Remember, teams get a lot of money when they get promoted to the Premier League to be able to spend this kind of thing. They get like 150 million boost for coming into the league. They'll see the majority of it for the windows, and some of it is they ask whether they can take it all at once or they can take it in parts throughout the season. But it depends on how much of a move they're going to make for players. But the Leicester City, if they're after putting in a race for Carvalho, we could see a sale for Carvalho going on for 30 million, 35 million. You know that? So that'd be good business for Liverpool.
Yeah, chat. What are you saying? Leeds pour 25 million, as you said there. Kev, 25, 30 million. I think we'd easy.
More. I think we'd get 30 million easy because of his talent alone.
Yeah. West Ham now spent 111 million. Thing is, I've always said this to me West Ham mates as well, Kev, and to Matthias's point as well.
Yeah.
Their fans, and rightly so, they'll be frustrated. They got the Declan Rice money.
Yeah.
Yes, they went out and bought Sanchez from Ajax, who is this Sanchez? Oh, bloody hell. The Mexican midfielder, anyway, completely. Alvarez, sorry.
Okay. Oh, Alvarez, okay.
Yeah, so they've got money. The attraction and the allure is there for any London club down there, regardless of if you see like your Chelsea, your Arsenal. Players, their families as well, if they want to move to London down south as well. It is an attraction. You look at Willian, I remember that transfer. It looked like he was nailed on to join Liverpool or Tottenham.
Yeah.
And then Chelsea just come out of nowhere and just signed him, really. So it's a thing. I'm excited. Yeah, nice one there. Nice one, lad. That's an over us. But just quickly get on in terms of what nice one there was he saying? Big up there, mate. You can.
By the way, Euro, the United's new signing, he had to have surgery on his foot, which is just finished. He just had a successful ankle surgery. That's successful as one. He's going to minimum 4 months, I'd say. Yeah, 4 or 3 months. Yeah, you won't see him until January.
Yeah. So the dangers of just signing any player, really, chat, and just injuries in general, really. But it's football is very mad, in all honesty. There, Kev. Obviously, I know when your background. Obviously, you played as a youngster, and you did get a bad injury at the time as well. So it's many.
My injury was kind of mostly, I know they knew it to test it like that, but they didn't have the scans that they did. I mean, this is only in the late 90s. So they didn't have the scans that they can see now. No, they can just go in and do this quick scan. They can tell if it's a ligament or a tendon. Before you'd have to, once the scan was set, it would scan on this one particular thing. And then maybe if they thought it was something else later, they would do it. But, they would always kind of aim for the tendon being the worst thing and then try to develop the ligaments after that. My problem is that my ligaments were kind of gone to mush at the time. And, but my tendon did, it did tear a bit, but it wasn't snapped. So it just needed a bit of rehabilitation. But if they'd have spotted the ligaments at that stage, I probably would have done a lot better in football. Yeah.
Could have been interviewing Kev. You never know. Could have been.
I was very fast. Yeah. And I could score a goal.
Oh, yeah.
I was a striker. That was it. I always growing up at that age, I'd Robbie Fowler was my hero as a striker. There's a lot of lads. Kevin Phillips was young at the time. I liked him. And Michael Owen was kind of around there then in the youth system. So, you'd see him about. You would he's fast.
Michael Owen comments. Were you quicker than Owen? Oh, bloody hell.
No, I was fast. I was fast, man. I was fast. But it was, I couldn't tell you if I was or not, but I was a whippet. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go, chat. Lee, I'm thinking after his long injury, Doak will go on loan. Don't see him sell them, to be honest. Yeah, there's no way we sell him. I think we try. Well, I remember doing the shows at the time as well. There was a lot of clamoring really in terms of trying to get a signature. If you went back to Celtic, for me personally, did you see Rangers bottled the league already first week into the season? They called the league off now because Celtic will win that, even with Brendan Rodgers as your manager. The level in Scotland, I'm sorry if there's any SPL fans, well, I'm not, because the level of football over there, I'm not having this notion that Celtic and Rangers could compete in the Premier League. They can compete in the Championship, maybe, but not in the Premier League for me.
Yeah, look, no, they don't.
Celtic and Rangers, maybe, but in terms of players, no.
Look, if they got the funding that they did in the Premier League, maybe they do a bit better and they probably get a higher standard of player that would get attached to them. And if you're playing in the Premier League, you definitely will. So they would develop better as a club up there. But no, at the moment, if Celtic and Rangers came down, they'd be battling for relegation immediately. The two clubs, they're just not good enough. We found that out a couple of years ago, when Liverpool played Rangers in the Champions League and battered them 7-1, was it, or whatever it was. And it just shows you the gulf is just ridiculous in the quality from up there and down there. It's they say it's the same thing if Serena Williams, who's one of the best women in tennis, in the morning turned around and played Andy Murray, who hasn't really won much but is still a good professional, he'd batter her 6-0. It's just the way it is. Yeah.
And Serena and that says, wait, come and check out the documentary Serena Williams and a sister as well. Will Smith in it, playing.
I haven't seen that now.
Come and check it out. It's on Netflix. Very, very good. Little video anyway. Quite to the final news story in regards to this one, Kev, another link with a link with a goalkeeper. I just don't get it. The Georgian goalkeeper, the Valencian goalkeeper anyway, Giorgi Mamardashvili. It's been said that the Reds are targeting the Georgian and are determined to sign a shot stopper as they look for Alisson Becker's replacement. Liverpool are said to be willing to pay more than 30 million, and the meeting has been scheduled this week for 30 odd million euros. I do not understand this move. It is absolute silly.
Mamardashvili.
Yeah, it's obviously the Georgian goalkeeper playing in the Euros as well. We've got Alisson Becker. Like, unless it is the realms of possibility where Kelleher does leave the football club.
He's leaving.
But we need to bring in a goalkeeper of that standard, really. Because I think when, obviously, Kelleher come in last year, well, didn't
I like the look of Yaros, didn't I, to be honest with you? I thought he played fairly well. Didn't like how long he took on the ball with his feet. Yeah. That annoyed the crap out of me. But his shot stopping was very, very good.
Yeah.
It's only just about solidifying what's there on the goalkeepers. If we lose, like we've just lost Adrian and we could lose Kelleher, and we can't just promote 2 youth fellas straight up to the spot. We're going to have to get some sort of experience in there along with potential. And so if you bring in Mamardashvili and then Yaros being the third choice, then we're okay. Because we still got Alisson Becker.
Alisson Becker. Alisson Becker. I want to be seeing going. So yeah, silly season is well upon us, chat. In all honesty, absolute crazy. But yeah, as Charlie said there, 23-year-old goalkeeper, 25 mil. Charlie, 25 million is probably, is it the standard right now for the average?
That's what I'm saying. If you think the potential of Carvalho is not worth 25 million, when you know the average, like we sold Dominic Solanke for 35 million and he did nothing. So he didn't go out on loan for us. He didn't do anything. He scored 1-2 goals and we got 35 million from him. I think, you know, Carvalho, in the way he's made a show, he's never really put a foot wrong for us. He just didn't suit Klopp's formation, and tend to kind of drift out of games because of that. Not because he wasn't, you know, didn't want to play, but just because of the way the situation kind of, or the formation didn't help him really much, you know, and his position didn't help him. So he became kind of like clueless and kind of like wanting to stay a bit forward too much when he needed to get back a bit. But I mean, that's not his fault. It's just it's sort of his fault, but you know, it's also down to Klopp's formation and stuff. So I think he's worth at least 30-35 million to sell as just potential alone. You know, yeah, I think so, with add-ons.
Yeah, for me, I don't know, use field chat or Kev, like I think he'd walk into like probably every side outside the top 10, maybe.
Who plays in it with a number 10 in the league?
Oh, are you talking about Carvalho? Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, I was talking about Carvalho. No, I'm not talking about you know, the keepers. That's a potential thing. Liverpool will pay 15 million down and pay 10 million later if they have to. It's the opposite way coming in. See, Carvalho's been trained in by Liverpool, loaned out to Leipzig. You know, he's an outfield player, so there's a certain higher standard of quality payment.
Kev's confusing me, yeah.
So no, it's a number 10. Yeah, Carvalho will walk into most teams that are playing number 10 in the league, to be honest with you.
No, it's right. I was speaking about Keller anyway. What we still
okay. No, Keller's easy. He'll be a goalkeeper for anybody in the league.
25-30 million easy for him as well.
More than that.
But chat, yeah, just thought we mentioned that because it was just I remember seeing like the link today. I was like, well, just why? But quickly get to where was it? It was common, was it? Matthias. There we go, mate. And a club like Ipswich, just to promote you, have spent 68.5 million in a transfer window. I'm telling you right now, Hughes is standing outside of it. Yeah. Now it's we're all getting players, Chas, but we'll be frustrated to say the least. But we haven't got a team like.
But didn't Slot already say himself? He thinks once he's established players, he thinks maybe 2 players, maybe 2, 3 max that might come in. He said it himself in an interview, and then your man told him to shut up. Remember that? So he was like, "Oh, I'm not allowed to say." Okay, so we can say that in the other visit, but you can't say it here. So yeah, so he's already said it himself that once it could be 2 players coming in minimum, so 2 to 3.
Oh yeah.
And if they don't, it's because the lad. It's not because the lads are telling them you don't have money, lads. So please stay away from that narrative. Don't get sucked into that narrative. The money is there. Easily, the money is there.
Pick up there, lad. Did I? Oh, apologies there, lads. I was getting me comments up anyway. I must have scrolled. Apologies there, lads.
What's the other account?
I was going to say, my man's got about 10 20 accounts by the looks of it. That wasn't intentional there, lads. I was trying to get me bloody comments up. I was actually going to try and create a poll. Bear with me 1 second. Right, whilst I'm creating that poll, which I was meant to be doing before, Kev, speak about whatever you want, really, lads, whilst today.
Right. No, what we'll get into for me is the Darwin effect. I've been dying to talk about this now for a couple of weeks. Do we think, and I was nearly put this up in the poll, Jack, if you get a chance as well.
Yeah, go on.
Do we think that the form of Darwin Nunez can continue on into this season? If it can, okay, so when I'm saying the Darwin effect, I'm saying that we've learned that
like
if you have
Darwin, like that effect.
No, that's just I'm using that as a pun, against this Jack. And but look, so Darwin Nunez, lads. Dude is a striker. We all know what he can do. We all know that he hasn't had the easiest of starts at Liverpool. We all know that he's playing in a system under Klopp that didn't suit him. But now you have a system here where anybody who's making an underlapping run is getting the ball to feet with Arne Slot's football. My thing is that when you look at Trent Alexander-Arnold and the crap that he had to put up with in Gareth Southgate's England, where he was the most creative player in that midfield, but yet he had a Harry Kane in front of him that was just he could literally walk up to him and just kind of go, pass me the ball. He was literally here to Trent, pass me the ball. It's the most ridiculous type of football I've ever seen from a striker, to be honest with you. We all know that Harry Kane can score goals. We all know this, but sometimes you can take your captaincy too far, man, and just get in the way. And that's the thing about Harry Kane. At the time it was between him and Jordan Henderson for captaincy, and he gave it to Harry Kane when obviously the natural leader would have been Jordan Henderson. And I think that stung Jordan as well. I think Jordan felt that going into the last season or so for Liverpool. I think a lot of stuff that happened to him, they kind of because he's a nice guy, a lot of people just tried to stab him in the back, really, in that kind of way. But I'd want to go back into kind of the past Liverpool players now that have done and dusted. But with a Trent Alexander-Arnold, with a Dominic Szoboszlai, with a McAllister, I think that if we can play that diamond front four, with whomever comes from the midfield to drift in at the time, maybe it could be a Szoboszlai, maybe it could be an Elliott, it'll be a Maka, unless we're playing with the double pivot, then you might have a Szoboszlai and a Trent tucking up in that way, while Maka and Elliott stay before the forward. There's means and ways about this, but the amount of balls that I think Trent could have played through to Harry Kane in the England setup to put him through on goal, if only Harry Kane knew where to stand. And the thing is, Darwin knows to stand in these positions. He knows how to be a menace on these defences. He knows how to drift back and forth. He's not coming back to be a part of the midfield to say, look, I missed the helping.
That fraud in the manager. Kane's a world-class striker. He has been
yes, but then why didn't he tell Kane as a manager? Exactly, you're saying as a manager. But why didn't he tell Kane to stay up there? Because he was afraid of some of the elite players in the team, I think.
It's the same mindset why Harry Kane hasn't won a massive trophy in his career, and he probably won't.
Because he's overdoing it. Because we all know he's a good striker, but just be a good striker. Stop coming back to be... you're not a false nine, and you're too far back to be a false nine in that situation. Because if he's the only outlet up forward for that, at least when we had Bobby Firmino, you see, Bobby Firmino was the king, be-all, end-all. He invented the perfect false nine position, because when he drifted back, he knew he had a Mane and a Salah and whoever was in the midfield drifting in behind him. With England, you didn't have that. Bellingham was probably the only fella that got the furthest forward, with maybe a bit of Foden might have tucked inside, or Saka, but most of the lads were too far defensive that when Harry Kane was picking up the ball, there was nobody running in beyond him. It was very hard. It's hard. So the best way to get the...
about England on this.
I'm talking about Trent, and I'm saying that if you have a Darwin Nunez now that's going through on goal, and you have a Trent Alexander behind him, he's going to make those runs and he's going to pass that ball. It's very similar. We have a lot of players in our team that can do what Trent can do passing-wise, along the floor and over the top, but we know, I think Darwin Nunez epitomises the striker that's going to benefit from that in the slot formation. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm saying. But anyway, I sidetracked a little bit because Harry Kane annoys me, and so did Southgate.
Thank God he's not a manager in England anyway. Watch him get a big man. Hopefully he's maybe one day Manchester United manager, because that will be fun. Bit of a mad comment here from...
What's that?
Went out this morning to get some breakfast, sat down, and who sits opposite the table? Only the great Galactico manager, the Sensei Del Bosque, with his daughter for brekkie. Hasn't changed a lot. Mark, I'm guessing you were in Spain. I'd be very surprised if he sat there chilling in town. But you never know. Could be on his jolly days. But what a manager he was. Tell you, he couldn't have managed a team. He had that legendary Spanish team, didn't he?
Yeah. The Basque was great, right? Yeah. He's a Galactico note. Yeah.
How many league titles did he win for Real Madrid?
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I'll say. Real Madrid fans? Let us know. Good day, Matthias. I want to limb here. But do anyone get the Coutinho feels when you see Carvalho play these days? Not just
you said that.
He's anywhere near as good, though. I think he's just a position he plays, really, mate. It's only because he's a central attacking midfielder, but I think...
It's because no speed there, you see. It's just the skill on the ball. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Coutinho's dribbling was mesmeric at times, like literally. It was... You didn't know where he was going, left, right. I still find it mad how cheap we got him for at the time anyway. But yeah, big up there, Mark. If we get Gyökeres, we will see as contenders. I'd love him, Mark. But yet again, this goes to the point really as well where when everyone tries to link with us with like big players and all that, I bet you any money, every team or the big teams in England turn their nose up at that fella. And what's he now worth? 60, 70, 80 odd million? At the club he's at now. So this goes to show, a bit like when Leicester got Jamie Vardy from the lower leagues. It can happen, but it's not the sexy thing to do in football. Go and get a championship striker, but that's where the fundamental coaching aspect comes from, Kev. You bring in a good coach to get the best out of your players as well. So
Gyökeres, I think, comes in and changes the scenario for Darwin big time, and even Jota. I think you don't have to rely on Jota's goals anymore. And you don't have to rely on hoping the fact that Darwin gets it right finally in the season. And I'm not saying that Darwin's been terrible, lads. He's missed a lot more than what he should, but so has Salah over the past couple of seasons. But still, 18 goals and like 13 assists or something like that was it from Darwin last season. So I mean that's still a great record for a fella that's supposed to be some sort of flop. And then like the Manx will talk about him all the time, but then you look at Hoyland and he's done nothing in the United team since coming in. I think he's got like 10 goals or something in the second half of the season, but did nothing for the first half of it. So where's call a spade a spade? Where's the back and forth? Darwin has improved on the season before. He had 15 goals and something like 9 assists, and he's improved every season. So hopefully under this new formation we'll see the best out of Darwin. If not, maybe we just bring in a safety net that is Gyökeres and see what way it works. So.
Yeah, I was going to say, I do say, Makeda will have a better Premier League legacy than the fella you just mentioned.
Hoyland. Yeah. Macheda, the fellow who curled in the top corner.
That goal against Aston Villa and won them the league. Like, he will. Like, he's. It's
anyway, quickly while we're there with Del Bosque, he won 1 World Cup, 2 Champions League. Yeah, 1 World Cup, 2 Champions League, 1 European Championship, 2 Spanish titles, and then there's a Super Cup back then, Super Cup for the UEFA Super Cup and the Spanish Super Cup and an Intercontinental Cup. So.
Not too bad there, chat. Not too bad, Kev. Chat.
Almost as good as Clap.
Not too bad. Yeah. No, well, people wouldn't be triggered. That was what we just said there. He's a far better manager, Del Bosque.
No, he's a great manager, but he's only won 1 extra trophy more than Clap in the Champions League and the leagues. Everything else, he's pretty much got the same. Actually, he's got more domestic trophies Clap has than Del Bosque, and we've got the Super Cup. Clap had the Super Cup. Very, very similar actually. The Clap. The only thing he hasn't got is a World Cup, and I think so. That's where he's got.
Euros in the World Cup with Germany. So
I think look, a couple of years, 2 years down the line, Klopp will be in some sort of international football, getting ready for it. The next European Championship or something.
Yeah, chat. It's been a very good episode today or tomorrow, whenever you are watching the episode. Everyone, really do appreciate everyone for getting involved. Massive thank you for the super chats as well, everyone. Really do appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow at 6:30. Probably might be a bit more of a shorter show because there's not really that much news. There will be days where we are jam-packed with a lot more credible information, but shout out to everyone that did get involved. as I say, when we're live, everyone just get involved. You see any news articles, big up to Zane as well for letting us know about that, mate. So really, very much appreciated on that. But yeah, we'll see you back at 6:30. Kev, are you streaming tonight? Where can everyone find you, please, mate?
No, I won't be streaming too much tonight. What I'm doing is I'm changing around the setup here a small, but as you can see, there's an issue with the camera thing going on, so I have to put a new unit into the PC, which is different from the one I'm using because it's damaging the ports or something. So I'll have to change that around. But anyway, you'll find me at for gaming, Irish Spider Guy, pretty much on YouTube and Twitch. You'll find me at Spider on Facebook, and then everywhere else for the football, you'll find me Spider LFC.
Pick up there.
That's it.
Won't mind. Obviously, Ivan Tony or Meggy, be a very good player. Big up there, chat. Welcome everyone that is new. As I said, quickly touching on the for anyone that has tuned in and you are new around the channel, or anyone watching up until this late on the replay. If you're not subscribed, 55.9% of everyone that does watch Anfield Road TV isn't subscribed. Takes 2 seconds. Hit that subscribe button down below and join. Let's get that. Try and evened out really for a bit more of the bigger percentage for everyone that is subscribed. If you have enjoyed today's episode, let us know your thoughts on Carvalho, Doak, the goalkeeper that we've been linked to, the Georgian goalie, a bit about Kone as well. And yeah, everyone, see you tomorrow at 6:30. Massive thank you, Kev, but also a massive big thank you to everyone that has tuned in tonight as well. Absolute legends. As always, Reds, you never walk alone. And to that.